So it's 2015, for those of you who haven't been aware. It's kind of a big deal. We're in a new year, which is a new season. I'm not a huge fan of, I'm not one of these who's like every year, this is the year of whatever, it's great. And I can I can accept and enjoy whatever God says this is a year of. But I will tell you, this year I feel like God is saying this is a year of rest. And not rest in the sense of we're not doing anything, but rest in the sense of, do I need to move this? It's okay. But rest in the sense of peace. Rest in the sense of this ability to be calm no matter what's going on around us. And so let's be happy. I mean, really, this year, this is what I want. I want our church, our family to be happy. Because there's no reason not to be happy. I'm telling you, no matter what your circumstances are, no matter what's happening around you, I believe this is a year of rest, and this is a year to be happy. Okay? So I expect us to be happy. And when you see me not happy, you can go, remember that one day, January 11th, 2015, when you said, let's be happy? Saundra, let's be happy, right? Because we have every reason. We have been endowed with blessings from our Creator, from our Father. Right. We have been given this place of life. I just hear Him saying, I'm giving you this life. And for some of us who've been through hard times, life may not sound like that good of a thing as compared to just going to heaven, right? There are times where I just go, can I just come home? Right. But you know what? He's given us life. And there's something precious and valuable in that gift that we must not let go of, and we must not pretend like it's no big deal. We can't just walk out our life and just go, well, here we go again, another day. No. We have been given a gift, right? And no matter what anybody else around you is doing or believing or how they're walking, you have been given a gift. You have been given life. 1 Corinthians 13:13 says, therefore, these three remain, faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. Now, we've talked, especially I tend to talk a lot about love, about God's love, about God's heart for us. But today, we're going to not avoid the other two. We're going to talk about hope a lot today, okay? That's what 2015, we have hope. And hope does not disappoint. Hope is vital in our lives. And if we cannot or don't have hope, we're walking zombies, we're walking dead, right? So hope is vital. So these three remain. The greatest of these is love. But these three remain. He's talking about, in there, he talks about what's passing away. You know, he talks about when we get to heaven, there will be things that will have passed away, things that are not needed, no longer important because now we're in a different space, right? So, but the things that remain, always, faith, hope, and love. Okay, so, I already said that. So if this is indeed a year of rest, if this is indeed a time to be happy, what do we need in order to rest? What do we need to know? We need to know our Father is for us. There's faith, right? We need to know that we are not without hope, that hope is our anchor. We have that to hold on to. And then we need love. Then we need to know His love. So today I'm going to use the word trust a lot in place of the word faith. That has been, I went through a time in my life where I was under teaching about faith all the time. And so I gained this irritation with that word. And it's not an irritation with God or any person, it's just an irritation with the word because it seems like it's such a holy word that I'm like, ugh, this word. So trust. Okay? We're going to use the word trust a lot today. So if we're going to live in a year of rest, and we're going to be happy, trust, and hope, and love are going to be our keys. Okay? Those are the things we're going to have to hold on to. So earlier this year, I was having some time with God, and I heard him say to me, "Sweetheart, I'm not like the humans." And I went, "Okay." And I was like, "I know this." And he very gently said, "You don't know this because you think I'm tired of having you in my lap. You think I'm tired of hearing about your problems. You think that I get sick of being annoyed with all of your just simple little problems. And while you may have humans around you who are tired of you crying or tired of you complaining or tired of whatever, I'm not like the humans. I'm not like those. And I'm here and I want to hold you. And I want you to come to me. And I want you to sit on my lap. And I'm never going to get tired of that." Father never gets tired of us. He's never sick of us, right? He loves and craves time with us. And he's never like the humans of, "Oh, here comes Saundra again." That's not his attitude. I mean, hopefully I don't have very many people saying that, but maybe. But you know, I know all of us just get in that place where you just feel like, "Well, here I go." And, you know, like we have our cycles, we go through whatever, and then we get frustrated and we feel like people are tired. He's not like the people. So we get to go to him and we get to sit on his lap and we get to let him hold us. And that brings us trust and that brings us hope. Okay? So I just want you to know that he's creating in every single one of you a masterpiece. In every single one of you, he is creating a love story between you and him. He is the artist, and he is making your life and this thing that we're stepping into day after day beautiful. He is creating warriors who have what it takes. Every single one of us, he's creating a person who has what it takes to do what he's called us to do. This isn't on our heads. Yes, we get to make choices, absolutely. But it is not completely on my head to just plod out my path. He's the one creating this. He's the one turning me into a superhero. He's the one creating me, creating this masterpiece, this love story that people can look at and go, "Wow, that's amazing." Because that's what art does, right? Good art makes you just stand there and go, "Wow, that's crazy." And you try to figure it out and analyze it, and you look at it and think through it, and you look at it at different angles, and you turn it on its side, turn it upside down, you look at it, and you're amazed. If it's good art, you're like, "Wow, so impressive. Who created that? Who thought of that?" My dad. My dad is creating that in each one of us. And we can hold on to that and let that be our anchor and our hope. This is my hope and this is my courage and my strength, that he's creating this masterpiece. And even when I look at somebody next to me, you all look around the room and you go, "We'll see how that works out." You know, we look at others and you might think, "I don't see it." I'm telling you, he's faithful.
Yeah.
He has not forgotten a one of you. And no matter what you see around you, whether they're growing or not growing, not your problem.
Amen.
We get kind of hung up on, well, I don't see them growing and I don't see them blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Not your deal. Like, he's creating a masterpiece in them, whether you see it or not. And it's kind of between them and God, right? He's creating a masterpiece in me, and that's between God and I. And we get to enjoy watching each other walk out that story and walk out that masterpiece, the love story that he's creating. There is this year, I feel like, and I'm not the only one who feels this way, I've heard others say it, that something has switched in the spirit realm. You know, we talk about the thin places of heaven, where it's easier to reach things. it's easier to gain understanding and gain love and gain life. And I feel like we're in that thin place of desire. But there's something that switched, like I feel it. I'm telling you, there's a spirit of desire floating around this year. Not just here, in Yuma County, in Greeley, and other churches, in our town. When you're at, I don't care where you are, library, coffee shop, whatever, there is a spirit of desire there, and if you will be aware, there is a spirit of desire for the things of God, for a relationship with your Father. And I have seen it, and I've sensed it, experienced it, and I've heard others talking about it. I don't know what it is. It's just like I want time with my Father.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, that is out there for us. Grab hold of that. Jump into that, okay? There is just a switch and a difference in that. And I don't want us to miss that, okay? All of this comes back to hope. All right? So, let's talk real quick about faith. Faith is a conviction and belief respecting man's relation to God and divine things. It is trust. So I'm going to do something I've never done. I'm making myself super vulnerable to you guys. I'm going to read something out of my journal. This is a little, I might sweat a lot right now. This is a little bit difficult for me because this is mine and God's. Well, I don't share this easily with people. In fact, never. But I felt like you need to hear this. First of all, let me give just a tiny background. Jesse Duplantis, some of you have heard of him, maybe some of you don't know him, but used to. I really loved listening to him because he came from entertainment industry in the world, and he was a comedian, and so listening to him was hilarious. I haven't listened to him lately. I don't know if he's still like that, but anyway, he talked about going to heaven and how when he went to heaven, things that happened when he visited heaven. And one of the things he said is that he saw all these little spirits flying around, all these little beings flying around, and they were constantly flying up to the Father and saying, could you please send me to earth so I can be a redeemed being? Can you please send me to earth so I can be a human being, a redeemed soul? I want to live as a redeemed person. I don't know if this is true, but that's kind of where this is coming from, okay? So, what if I was in heaven before I was put on earth, and I was a spirit hanging around asking you to send me here so I could be human and redeemed and new. And you told me you would let me come to earth, but that I should know. There would be darkness, there would be darkness and grief, and yet in all of it, you would pursue me, be so in love with me, that you would refuse to let go of me or your heart for me. What did you say? And this is what I heard. We will have the best love story, a divine connection, and we will become one. And you will watch our love story unfold. This will all happen because I will not relent. And I know your heart is soft and winnable, and you will be won by me, and you will be mine. Sometimes you will feel like you are mine because you just have to be, and that's happened, and you have no choice. And sometimes you will be mine because you are crazy about me, and all you want is to be fully mine. We will have the best love story. Go, be Earth's, be one, be mine. Go, let us begin the unfolding of the great love story. And then I said, sorry. And I said, I am here offering to be a part of this love story, giving myself to become the masterpiece that you want to create. So what am I afraid of? Is it fear or just the sad loss of what I thought was going to be? But then again, is that what makes a masterpiece? The mistakes within it and the loss turn to something amazing, awe-inspiring. Is the masterpiece perfect and completely created before it's made? Or is it created when a disaster nearly ruins it and the artist comes through with power, skill, and love and redeems it, making it perfect because of the very thing that was first going to destroy it? You are the artist. You are the lover. The fear that I am ruined, that because of this I have ruined my own potential to be a masterpiece, or that by my mistakes I have ruined the love story, is a misunderstanding of what kind of artist I'm being painted by, and a misbelief of what kind of lover you are. You are better than Hosea, who, if you remember this, was told to marry a prostitute to show God's love. You are better than Hosea, or Romeo, or Solomon. You are a lover beyond understanding. Your peace passes understanding, but then your love surpasses my understanding of passion. I'm being redeemed, loved, made new, and recreated day by day. I become more beautiful with every sunset and sunrise. So, what if Father is creating this love story for you? What if that's true? What if you were this being floating around before asking, can I go to earth and be redeemed? And he said, yes, you may. And his full intention as an artist was to create this masterpiece. I don't know about you, but for me, that gives me an amazing amount of hope. It gives me some sort of overall perspective that I might not have seen otherwise. That suddenly I can look at it and go, oh, right. So in the midst of my mistake, in the midst of any disaster, in the midst of something crappy happening, I can go, but this is part of a bigger story. This is a chance for him to prove his heart for me. This is a chance for him to create a masterpiece where disaster would desire to ruin me. It's a chance for him to come in and go, really? That's not happening here. And he recreates this, right? Such a switch. Like, that alone gives me so much hope. When I'm in the midst of going, I can't see how this is going to work out, and I am hurting or I'm frustrated, all of a sudden when I can see, maybe I'm being painted. Okay. And I'm not saying that God does the disaster then to correct it. No, I'm saying when the disaster happens, he goes, and he fixes and he makes it more beautiful. Because that's what great artists do.
That's right.
Maybe you should turn my mic down.
We love you, Saundra.
So here's the thing. Imagination, so many of us were taught growing up, stop imagining. Stop daydreaming. Because that's a fantasy, it's no good, it's evil, it's whatever. We were taught these things, right? That imagination was not good. And I'm telling you, I believe imagination is a gift from God. It is a way for us to help him and be involved in this creating of a masterpiece. Because suddenly, as we sit and imagine ourselves with him, then we get to see what he's doing. And we can imagine ourselves wherever we want. You know, there are plenty of times where in my time with God, or even up here during worship, I'm like, okay. And I just feel like he's like, where do you want to go today? I'd like to go on the river in Italy where they have all the gondolas. Are those called gondolas? Where they're on those boats. I just want to stand on the side though, and I just want to watch. He's like, sweet, let's go there. So we go there, and he holds my hand, or he holds, has his arm around me. That's imagination. That's what we're given to work with. And I'm telling you, when we imagine, something else settles in our hearts. There's some kind of solidifying that happens here. Instead of it just being this thing of, oh, I know the Bible says he loves me. No, I'm going to picture myself wherever I want to go that day, or even ask him, where do you want to go today? And be able to picture myself there with him. That's part of settling things in your heart. So this is kind of a side thing. I just want to say imagination's good. Let yourself imagine being with the Father.
Yes.
Where you want to be, how you want to be. Okay? That's valuable. That's part of faith. Because what happens is then you begin to trust him. It's really hard to trust when you can't see. Well, imagination is seeing. Right? So, to imagine actually means to form a mental image of something not present to the senses. So, I want us to imagine. In fact, we're just going to do that right now. Okay? So I want you right now to go ahead and close your eyes. And I want you to think of your favorite place. Ocean, mountain, stream, whatever that is. I want you to think of your favorite place. Field of grass, field of sunflowers, whatever it is. And I want you to picture Jesus walking towards you. And I want you to picture him just taking you by the shoulders and looking into your face. And I want you to hear what he says. Okay, I want you to keep him beside you, and I want you to come back to this room with him right beside you. Okay. So, let's talk about hope. Hope is a joyful and confident expectation. It is not a lack of hurt or pain, loss, depression, all those negative things. Hope is not a lack of that, but what you do in the midst of that. Right? Hope is what you hold on to in the midst of the pain and the loss and the hurt. Megan the other day had, I think it was because of playing soccer, you were sore the next day. She was saying how she was sore from having played soccer, and then she said, but I've decided that soreness is a good thing because it makes me know I'm alive. I get to feel that I'm alive, right? I was like, yeah, that's a good perspective. And then I thought, you know what? That's true emotionally. Like when I'm dealing with stuff, whether it's stress or depression or hurt, I can go, God, this hurts. And then I can go, right, because you're alive. And then you can take it to the next point. I'm thankful. I am thankful that I'm alive. And when I hurt and it just shows me that I'm alive, I'm going to be thankful. And then I'm going to take it to the next level, which is trust. So, pain, alive, thankful, trusting, right? It switches it. So suddenly I'm not just controlled by that pain. There's hope in the midst of that pain. Thankfulness in the midst of the pain. I'm not saying for the circumstance. Like so many of us were taught when you get sick, be thankful for being sick. I'm never going to be thankful for being sick. End of story. Period. Right? I will be thankful in the midst of feeling pain that I'm alive. And then I'm going to trust. Beyond my circumstances, I'm going to trust and hope and feel his love and his presence. Jeremiah 17:7 says, blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord and whose hope is the Lord. My hope and my anchor is the Lord. I have nothing else to stand on, you guys. Nothing else is so secure. Nothing else is unchanging. Nothing else is sure and definite. Hope in the Lord. My hope being the Lord, that's my security. It's my definite, stable ground. When nothing else and everything else shakes. Hope in the Lord. That's what I've got. That's my strength and my security. So, by the way, blessed, where it says blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord, it means happy. There's that word. Happy, fortunate, and enviable. And I kind of like that. I know people who get envious of others, and I think in one sense that's not all bad. We are to be happy, fortunate, and enviable. Not that people should, but right? So we are blessed because our trust is in the Lord, and our hope is the Lord. And Romans 15:13 says, may the God of your hope so fill you with all joy and peace in believing, through the experience of your faith, that by the power of the Holy Spirit you may abound and be overflowing or bubbling over with hope. Hope matters. If we don't have hope, I like this. When you have lost hope, you've lost everything. And when you think all is lost, when all is dire and bleak, there's always hope. Especially when our hope is the Lord. Right? We always have hope. I like this little acronym for hope. Hold on, pain ends. Father is